Hey guys, Lou here from LT's Custom Woodworks. Welcome to the shop. Today, I'm going to have fun today. I don't want to really kind of work. So, that's all I've been doing lately is just working and working and working. And I figure, you know what? Last night I went and I glued some of these pieces up, and I'm going to make something out of it. Either you can use it as a candle holder or a little bowl, whatever, ornament, decoration, whatever you want. So I glued some pieces up last night, and I'm just going to cut some square blocks out of it. I'll get the sides cleaned up. They're in 3 pieces. I'll get the sides cleaned up, and then I'll cut some blocks out of it, and then go from there. See what we can do. So I'm going to cut the one side straight. I'm going to cut these at 4.5 inches, and then I can always trim them off later, and I'll cut 3 of these like that. So what I'm going to do is, there's no really, I'm just going to cut right through this, and there's no certain position. You can pick anywhere you want. I just moved my fence over to whatever, and I'm going to cut it right through. I'm going to cut it completely right off, and I'm going to say right here. You can pick anywhere. Maybe I'll go a little more. Good to go. And I'm going to do that to all these. I'm going to cut 2 lines, and I'll just pick wherever. And I forgot to turn the machine on. Okay. I'm going to cut them a little bit longer. I'm going to cut them about 5.5, 5 5/8, give or take. And I'm going to cut 12 of these. And this is just 1/4 inch plywood, and it's pine. Actually, it's a little less than 1/4 inch, I think. This is 1/4 inch. And be generous with the glue. It's the best way. I'm going to cut these pieces off. You can use anything. I'm just going to use a table saw, but you can use whatever it takes to just cut the excess off, and then we can start working on our next cut. What I'm going to do is I'm going to slice one end off on the miter saw, like I did on this side here, to get it nice and smooth for now. And I will do it to one side only on all of them. Now that I have these all flat, I have something to push up against my table fence. Now, keep in mind this will be recut afterwards. This is just giving me a base that I can push up against. Now I can either go a straight line right down, I can go on an angle, whatever it desires. You can cut this any way and splice in another piece. You can put two pieces. I'm just going to do one more, keep it simple. And I think I'm just going to go straight across and just add one right in the middle, or you can go anywhere you want with these. It doesn't have to be in the middle, it could be at the top, the bottom. I'm just going to go wild with this and see what it comes about. And I'm just going to cut these at 5 inches. Make a mark here. And just repeat these cuts. To be exact. And it's basically the same. Get your orientation right. Now that it's dried, I'm going to take them out of the clamps. I'm going to square up the one end. Now you can cut this any way you want. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to use the joiner, square up the one end, get it all flat, and then I'll bring it over to the table saw and I'll cut this all straight all the way around. Now that we have one side completely flat, I can push it up against the fence, make sure it's flat with the fence, and then just square everything up on the table saw. I ended up buying these little candle holders or incense holders. I'm going to drill a hole. I'm going to mark the center and drill a hole, and you can either offset them or do whatever you want and then cut this into a design. But I'm going to drill a hole on the drill press to fit these in there. And I'm going to use my Forstner bit on the drill press. So the way I'm going to mark these, and I'll bring the camera in closer so you can get a better look. I'm just going to mark the center from corner to corner so I can find my center on this one. and then I'll drill a hole for that to fit in there. And I can do that to some of these. And that is perfect. And I will do these to the other two remaining and go from there. I got the hole cut out. I'm just going to cut something wild here. Just come up with anything. Cut a curve in it. Make it unique, different. I will give this a sand, and it's pretty much ready for finish. I did another one here. I cut it on an angle on both sides. And I'll make something with the other one as well. I got these all sanded. I rounded off the edges a little bit with just with a sander, just to soften it up, make them more elegant. On the last cut on the bandsaw, I had a little accident. Pure stupidity is one. You get comfortable with the machines and you think you know it, but you don't. You got to respect your machines in all aspects. Just because you work with a machine for so many years and you think you got it all figured out, you don't. I had cut my finger pretty bad, pretty deep. I didn't cut any tendons. I didn't cut the bone because of the way it happened. It was more of a slice on the side. After the cut, I can see everything inside. I can see the bone and everything. It was deep. That happened on the bandsaw. I'm going to move you to the bandsaw so I can show you what exactly I did and how it could have been prevented. So what had happened, I was doing my last cut, and as you can see, I was coming around and then bringing it out. As I was coming in, now this runs at a pretty good high RPM. And as you can see, a lot of that blade is exposed because this is 4 inches. This is 4 inches. So, a small blade like this is a 1/4 inch blade. For it being small, it kind of, as it's being, it's a thin blade. It's a 1/4 inch blade, and that's made for just making some design cuts. If it was a resaw blade, I would have lost my finger for sure. So what happened was I was pushing it through, and because it's 4 inches thick, you're really giving it some push, especially on a small blade like this. As I was pushing it, when I was getting closer to the end, you can see there's about 1 inch here that I have width of play. I was using my thumb to push. As I was coming to the end, it was about 1/16 of an inch to cut through. I started to use my thumb, and as I got closer, I started to use my finger. When I used my finger, I kind of had it buckled like this, and I was pushing. And as I was pushing, you figure, okay, it's going to slide out, no problem. That's not what happened. As you were pushing, once you get to that last bit, and you're still pushing in that inward direction, it let go, my finger went in and sliced in this way, and it was so fast. It was basically a bump. But the way my finger went in, it was like this as I was pushing. It went in this way, so the cut is from here, and it wraps all the way around to here. So it went in a good 1.5 inches. That blade slid right in. And it was a big, deep cut. My most concern was that I hit the bone. When I sprung back, blood started pouring out. Obviously, I went and grabbed the cleanest rag I can find in the shop. And that was way at the other end of the shop. I grabbed it and I basically squeezed my finger tight in an upward elevation to try to stop that bleeding. For about 5 minutes, I was holding really tight. I was walking around the shop. As I was walking around the shop, I kind of just lifted it up a little bit to take a look, and I realized that's pretty deep because I can see everything inside. My main concern was, did I hit the bone? So I started to move my finger, and I was able to move it no problem. I knew I didn't hit any tendons. I knew I didn't hit any bone. I grabbed the first aid kit. Of course, I had to let go of the Band-Aid to get the apron off. Becomes a little bit of a mess. I went in the house. The wife helped me out to bandage it up. We went to the hospital. Sat there for about 2 hours. They gave me 10 stitches, and I was good to go. That was a wake-up call for me. Don't underestimate a power tool. Even though you've used it for years and you figure you have it all figured out, that's not the case. Respect your machinery. You know, even though it's a bandsaw, I do use push sticks with the table saw. The bandsaw and the joiner, I never do. When I'm cutting a thin strip like that, from now on, I will use a push stick. Once this project is done, I'm going to make push sticks for the bandsaw. I do have some push sticks, push blocks for the joiner, but I don't like them. So I'm going to make some push sticks for them. And you know, once I get to that point, I'm going to start using the push sticks. After this project, I'm going to start building them and using them. Start to respect your machinery a little bit better. I got lucky with this. Thank God. They gave me a little kit to remove my own stitches in 10 days. That will be fun. Other than that, I'm good to go. I'm going to take it a little bit slow, but I will finish off this project. And here I'm just going to use some tung oil to finish this off. At the end of this video, I will show some pics of the stitches of the cut, so you can see how the cut was. If you don't want to look at it, then of course don't wait to the very end of the video. And I'm just going to put one coat. Nothing fancy. Something simple. And that is that. Let it dry out. And those make sexy candle ornaments, incense, whatever We'll take a step back and take a look. And that is that. That makes for good candle holders, incense, you know, whatever. You can drill a bigger hole and use it as a bowl. And just let that dry out. And that wraps up this video. If you guys are new to the channel, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, hit the notification bell so you guys are notified every time I upload a video. And thanks for watching, and be safe.